Chapter 9, A Big Surprise. Candy asked the sales clerk at Downtown Records who had the best chocolate cakes in town. "It's for my roommate's birthday." "Are you in a hurry?" the woman asked. "No, not especially." "Why?" "I get off in 10 minutes. We can bake one in my oven. I'm just down the block." She stuck out her hand. "I'm Betty Lou." Over coffee, she cried on Candy's shoulder. She was 33 but looked older. She got pregnant at 17 and had a daughter. Her husband was very handsome, talented, and he could charm the stripes off a zebra, but he was unfaithful. They'd recently separated. Then he drained their savings account and left town. His sister says he's on his way to California with the drummer's daughter. She can't be more than 18 years old, Candy, and he's past 40, for pity's sake. Candy trembled. "He's in a band?" "You might have heard of them, Candy. Drool. They changed the name from Salivation. He plays bass, and he does most of the singing, too." A buzzer sounded. "I think it's finished," Betty Lou said. "Smells good, doesn't it?" "Sure does," Candy said. Her heart began to race. Betty Lou gently laid the cake in a box and applied frosting. "What do you want to write on top?" "I'll take care of that," Candy sputtered. I gotta go. Sorry, I'm late for class." "Don't forget your record." As Candy stumbled toward the door, Val walked in. She did a double take and smacked herself on the head. "Do you know Candy?" Betty Lou asked. "Sure do, Mom. Met her Saturday. She's Kathy's roommate. You know who I mean, Tristan's new girlfriend." "So this is for Kathy, then?" Betty Lou gushed. "The girl that... Oh, Candy, you gotta tell her how much I appreciate everything she's done. Why, I probably wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for her." Candy was trying to maintain. "I'll tell her what you said, Betty Lou. I really gotta go now." "Thanks." Betty Lou hugged her. "It's been wonderful, Candy. I am so glad we met. We'll have to have y'all over for dinner real soon, okay?" "That would be nice," Candy said. "Yeah, real nice, Mom," Val said. "I can hardly wait." She followed Candy out the door. "So I guess you must have heard about you-know-who blowing town with all our bread." "I just can't believe this is happening. What am I going to do?" "Don't ask me," Val smirked. "I'd sure as hell hate to be you right now." Kathy unwrapped the Donovan record Candy bought for her and gave her a hug. She showed her new book, In His Steps, the Charles Sheldon novel Tris had sent her with a box of chocolates. She had a check for $50 from her Irish grandparents and $25 in cash and a coupon good for 3 Snickers bars from her Italian grandmother. "And what'd you get from Judy and Artie?" Candy asked. Kathy showed her the portable colored television. "Can you believe this?" Candy handed her the cake. "Happy birthday, Catherine. Betty Lou Haynes sends her love." "Betty Lou who?" "Haynes, roomie. Roger's estranged wife. She bakes a mean cake. She told me you practically rescued her from Hades." She told Kathy how it all played out. "And Val didn't spill the beans?" Kathy said. "No, I think she'd rather torture me." "You're going to have to tell Betty Lou before she hears it from someone else." That evening, the CPGs gathered for birthday cake. Leslie, was excited about a Billie Holiday record Yvette had recommended. Jane complained about Lynn's snoring. Lynn said it was because she had a cold from too much partying. Jane said, Lynn's lucky if that's the only disease she picked up. Lynn said, Jane's just jealous because nobody wants to get close enough to her to give her a disease. Candy said there was a party at Gabe and Larry's apartment Friday night. And Gabe's playing open mic at the Well on Saturday. She pulled out an envelope with pictures Frog had snapped of their girls' night out. Lynn held up a picture of heaven. I've got some real dirt on this one. Oh yeah, Jane said. Wait till you guys hear this. Hear what? Kathy said. They booted her off the swim team, Lynn said. You'll never guess why. Well, Candy said, 'cause she's a lesbian. What? Candy asked. Where'd you hear that? Another girl on the team told me all about it. The phone rang. Kathy ran out the door and grabbed it. Hello, sweetheart. Mom! Hi. I was starting to wonder if you were going to call. Baby, I wanted to call all day to wish you a happy birthday, but we got some really bad news this morning, and I just thought I'd wait a bit, let you enjoy your day. But I suppose I should have called earlier. Mom, what is it? Nothing's wrong with Daddy, is there? No, sweetie. He's fine. It's Dennis. He's been hurt. Very badly hurt. Dennis was Ginny's older brother, the class of '64 homecoming king, and a Parade magazine high school football All-American. As a sophomore at Southern Cal, Dennis scored 7 touchdowns in his first 2 games. Then it all fell apart. He got in a barroom scuffle and broke his thumb. Then he was suspended for paying another student to take a test. A second public drunkenness arrest resulted in his expulsion. He took a job in his father's insurance office, still hoping to get back into college and play pro football. But in the spring of '66, he received his draft notice. A few months later, he was sent to Vietnam. Mom? Kathy held her breath. Is he... He lost his leg, sweetheart, the left one, from the knee down. A hand grenade. He's flying to L.A. Saturday. Rita and Ginny left this morning. They're at Jack's. Oh, Mom, did you talk to Ginny? We drove them to the airport, sweetheart. I just don't get it, Mom. How could this happen? I don't know, Catherine. All we can do is trust God to help him get through this. He's always been a fighter, a winner. He's had some tough breaks, sure, but he'll find a way to come out on top. You'll see. Candy was toking from a roach clip. How's Judy and Artie? Kathy told everyone what happened. The party ended abruptly. As the lights were about to go out, Ginny called. I know he's going to be all right, Jen. He's always been a fighter. He'll find a way to come out on top. You'll see. Oh, Kath, it's so crazy out here. Ma wants him to come back with us, but Daddy's still calling all the shots. Did anyone talk to Den? Not yet, but they told us he's going to be okay. He can get an artificial leg and everything else should heal up too. Call me after you see him, okay? Candy was in snooze land, but Kathy couldn't get there. She started reading in his steps. What would Jesus do? That was the theme. I had such a crush on him when I was in junior high. Kathy told Candy at breakfast. Me and a couple hundred other girls. Well, thank God he wasn't killed, Candy said. Do you think it's true what Lynn said about heaven? I don't know about Lynn. She told me she saw Trist getting chummy with a woman in town the same day I met him. With heaven? No, not her. I didn't really want to know, but that didn't stop Lynn. She said it was a redhead. That's Lynn, all right. Talk first, think later if she thinks at all. We're still going to Gabe's party, right? Kathy nodded. I guess we can all go together, except Leslie. She went home. Lynn had a date Friday night. It was just Kathy, Candy, and Jane. They took in the 8 o'clock show at the Well, a classical guitarist. Halfway through his set, Heaven arrived in tight jeans and a revealing top. They left for the party. It was on floor 6, a dark and smoky 2-bedroom high-rise. About 20 people, more girls than guys, were dancing to a Cream record. Gabe asked Kathy to dance. She followed him into the living room. He had a sensuous dancing style, swaying gently to the beat. She raised invisible barriers he didn't try to push past. As Sunshine of Your Love blasted, Heaven and Candy toked from a bong as Jane danced with Larry, one as comically uncoordinated as the next. Kathy declined the bong. She passed on the beer. Can I get you anything? Gabe asked. No, thank you. He gazed into her eyes. I think you're quite beautiful. Well, I think you're quite full of it. Thank you, he said. You're rather full of it yourself. She held his kitten as Candy gushed to Heaven about Gabe's music and his upcoming debut at the Well. The smoke burning her eyes, Kathy stepped onto the balcony. She buttoned her coat and pulled on her gloves. Gabe followed. I really admire you, he said. Is that so? I truly do, because you're naturally high. You don't drink and smoke just 'cause everyone else does. Not everyone does. I know. But how many people can relax and have a good time at a party like this without some form of chemical assistance? As long as my friends are having a good time, Kathy said. Wow, you are one tuned-in lady. She flashed the peace sign. Heavy man. Are you coming to hear me play tomorrow? She nodded. Believe it or not, I'm nervous. Larry popped his head out. Yo, Gabe's, want to light up a tie stick? Kathy and Candy huddled as Gabe whispered to Larry, I cannot believe how utterly divine she is. Jane listened quietly between tokes as Larry talked about the war and what Vietnam was like for him. We're going to head back, Candy said, as Kathy fished for their coats. They slept through breakfast and left for Pop's Deli in a light drizzle. I think our Jane and Larry bonded, Candy said. They seem so totally opposite, but you know what they say about opposites. Candy laughed. Yeah, Kathy, get 'em loaded enough and they won't care. Just inside the door, they were folding up their umbrellas when Kathy suddenly turned and whispered, Let's go somewhere else. What's wrong? Candy asked. Please, let's leave. What's going on, Catherine? Spill. Third from the end, right side, she whispered. The redhead? See who's with her? Oh, my goodness. They slipped out the door. It was raining hard now, and Kathy was crying. Candy pulled her under an awning. Don't assume she's his girlfriend. She's got to be 30. At least. I just can't believe this is happening. Listen, Rumi, just wait here, okay? Wait. I'll go back there and see if she's a girlfriend or not. Now, if she is, I'll just leave. But if she's his aunt or a teacher or something, I'll say I'm waiting for you. His teacher? You can't be serious. Come on, let's just go. Nothing doing, Rumi. I can't let you torture yourself like this. And then you'll sulk all day and tomorrow. So wait here. Don't go anywhere. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, then you come and get me. Kathy stands alone. Her world is crashing down for what seems an eternity. Feeling an uneasy giddiness, she looks at her watch. Nearly 10 minutes have passed. She slowly walks back to Pop's, jittery, until Candy, sitting next to the redhead, waves for her to come and sit. Tris turns around. He jumps to his feet and runs to greet her. She melts in his arms. I missed you, he says. They walk to the table. The redhead stands and hugs her. I've heard so much about you, Kathy. I didn't think any girl could be as pretty as my son said you were. But you really are. It is so nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too, Mrs. Paver. Call me Karen. Harvey had an accident, Tris says. We're taking him up to the VA hospital in Gunsburg. Is he all right? Kathy asks. He was smoking in bed, Karen says. Again. It caught fire, but he wasn't hurt. We need to get going pretty soon, Mom, Tris said, because Frog and I are taking these two beauties to dinner tonight. The waiter brings bagels. Kathy leans on Tris as she bites in. Thank you for the chocolates and the book and that nice card. You're welcome, sweetness. Did you have a happy birthday? Candy answers. She did. We had a party at the dorm with all the CPGs. And Candy baked me a cake. She met Val's mother at the record shop. They baked it in her oven. Isn't that amazing? I didn't know who she was, Candy says, and she didn't know who I was. Then Valerie walks in and I almost had a heart attack. But Val's not mad at Candy, Kathy says. No, she's not. But Raj cleaned out their bank account and ran off to California with an 18-year-old girl. I talked to Val this morning, Tris says. I think her mom's coming with us tomorrow. She made some puppets, and she's working on a puppet stage, too. What time are you picking us up? Kathy asks. 7. We're dressing up okay. It's a real swanky place. He puts his arm around her again and reaches across the table for Candy's hand. Tris's mother picks up the check. See, Candy said. It was his mother. His mommy. I'll bet you feel pretty dumb now, don't you? Beyond dumb. It's kind of like when you hear someone died and you're all sad and then you run into them at the bowling alley. The bowling alley? What are you talking about? Oh, never mind. Candy smiled. Let's go get our hair done with the money we saved on lunch. After cold pizza and a bath, Gabe lit another joint and watched the Lions football team get blown off the field by Penn State. Larry and Jane showed up with groceries. Jane put together a big salad and told Gabe about her first visit to the well. She told him Kathy had a boyfriend named Tris, and Candy was dating the coffeehouse manager. His name's Frank, but everyone calls him Frog. After dinner, Gabe put on a sweater and a pair of striped bell-bottoms. Larry and Jane sat on the couch watching figure skating. Larry flashed his "get out of here" look and handed Gabe 2 joints. The featured act at the well, a bluegrass group, finishes at 9:15. Gabe warms up downstairs, surrounded by Monica, Lorinda, Melissa, and Jody. The members of his frat party entourage are flirty, slinky, and stoned. When Heaven floats down the steps, simply unbelievable, in a pale blue mini dress, Gabe uncorks an original tune. He feels supremely confident until he beholds Kathy, so heart-shreddingly beautiful, in a frilly black sleeveless dress with spaghetti straps and a 10-inch slit up the left side. Candy is radiant in a red knit dress with a low back. She introduces Gabe to Frog and Triss. Frog opens his hand. 5 minutes. Gabe stumbles outside and walks till he's safely out of sight. Just be yourself, man, he tells the night air. They'll enjoy your music. He lights up, and the ritual begins. 1, inhale deeply. 2, hold it. 3, oh yeah, and here it comes, the buzz. What a woman she is. Should I tell her how I feel? Better save that roach, man. Gotta get back. Let's go, quick, down the steps. Grab my guitar. The pastor is mutilating his name like most people do. Gurevich instead of Horevich. There's warm applause as he sits in front of 2 microphones and plays a Roy Orbison riff. He stretches it out, waiting for his confidence to kick in, and voila, here it is. He begins to sing, pretty woman, a-walking down the street, pretty woman, the kind I'd like to meet. The audience responds. Candy and Kathy clap and smile as Triss and Frog nod their heads in approval. He plays every minute, every hour, every day, drawing on the crowd's affection, and he goes straight into A Day in the Life from Sgt. Pepper's. The applause is intense. He bows and walks over to Kathy and Candy, who beam like 2 moms whose boys have just won the Little League World Series. Triss shakes his hand. That was great, man. Especially that one you wrote. You're really excellent. Frog asks Gabe if he can share a song or 2 at the nursing home. Lynn stands in the hallway, clearly upset. After a few words, she and Kathy leave. Heaven sits down next to Triss. She's making a big mistake, Lynn tells Kathy. He's a drug dealer, and he's a fraud. He gets $1,000 every month pretending he's mentally ill. Then he buys dope with all the money, and he sells it to the high school kids. Really? You think I'd make this up, Kath? I'm telling you, he's bad news. Did you talk to her? Of course I talked to her, but she's not in her right mind. She just smiles. He's not crazy, Lynn. He's just sensitive. I wish someone would pay me $1,000 a month to be sensitive. It's snowing. The first snow. After Lynn rattles on about Jane, she transitions smoothly to her other source of misery. The guy she's been dating has been cheating on her. Later, Kathy feels lonely and dejected. She is disturbed by the tobacco smell on her favorite dress. She's putting on her nightie when the phone rings. Kathy? Hi, Triss. Is Lynn all right? She was upset about Jane. Yeah? Nothing too serious, she says. Everything okay with you? I'm fine. You sure? Well, I'm still a little freaked out about Dennis. Yeah. A sweet silence. Kathy? Yes, Triss? You are amazing. Thanks. I think you're amazing, too. I really wanted to tell you this in person, Kathy, but... Tell me what? that I love you. Oh, Tris, I love you too. See you tomorrow, okay? Good night. Good night, Tris. Like a mother laying her newborn baby in its cradle, she hangs up the phone and walks back into her room. She stands by the window feeling lightheaded and breathless. She replays his declaration in her mind over and over as the snow continues to fall. The well closed at 1:30. Larry invited everyone that was left to party at the apartment. Larry, Jane, Heaven, Gabe, and his co-ed entourage partied till 3 o'clock. Heaven said she'd have to quit school unless she could figure out a way to pay for it. Melissa told her she could make money dancing at the Blue Room. Wouldn't I have to dance nude? Not completely, Melissa said. Chapter 10. One Fine Kisser. Leslie was hysterical. You should have done something, Alan. I know, Les. I'm sorry. I just froze. I'm your sister, Alan. You're supposed to protect me. I know I am, Les, but I was scared, I tell you. I'm really sorry. You're going too fast, Alan. Look out! The Mustang skidded, and Leslie screamed as the car soared over the median strip. After a deafening, crunching sound, she lay there, bloody and dazed. She called out for Alan as lights flashed and sirens throbbed in her head, but Alan didn't answer. He wasn't breathing. How was your date? Kathy asked. Great until you left, Candy said. Why'd you have to babysit Lynn anyway? Oh, I wish I could chalk it up to genuine concern, but I just felt uncomfortable, like I was under a microscope or something. I'll bet old Miss Flowers got real palsy-wowsy with Tris after I left. Oh, she definitely put in her bid, Roomy. And he was polite, but that's about all. He didn't stick around, but she had better luck with the lovely and adorable Gabe. Lynn told me Larry's selling dope to the high school kids. Oh, I'm sure there's a big market for it. Frog wanted me to go to the nursing home today. Well, I made up an excuse. No way I'm going. Not with Betty Lou and Val. Betty Lou still doesn't know? Frog says I need to tell her. How? Oh, Betty Lou, can I talk to you? It'll only take a minute. I had sex with your husband, but it was only about 30 times, 40 tops. You're not mad at me, are you? Oh, good. Oh, wait, I almost forgot, Betty Lou. I'm pregnant with his child. You think you are? It looks that way. Did you tell Frog? Not that part. Kathy hears music downstairs at the well. Eric Lamb sits at the piano singing God Only Knows with Tris on guitar. Val and Betty Lou huddle around the piano, harmonizing. That sounded great, Kathy says. Tris introduces her to Betty Lou. I've heard so much about you, Kathy. I must say, your roommate Candy is one very special lady. Yes, she is. And I must thank you for that delicious cake. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Come on upstairs with me. I've got something you gotta see. As they climb the steps, Betty Lou whispers, I don't know how to put this except to say, I sure appreciate everything you did with Valerie. Honestly, Betty Lou, I didn't do anything. Quit being so modest. You rescued a family on the brink of total disintegration. Well, I'm glad things are working out. Thanks to you. Betty Lou opens a trunk and pulls out two puppets, an abbot and a Costello. Wow! Wait till Leslie sees this. Tris, Eric, and Val come upstairs. Heaven and Gabe chat briskly as they arrive. Everyone sits around the stage. Tris asks if anyone has seen Frog or Leslie. Glancing at a clipboard, he lays out the sequence. They rehearse. Betty Lou fills in for Leslie. Frog arrives and sits next to Tris in the Wonder Bread truck. The rest climb in the back. Dobie the kitten hops on Kathy's lap. Val gives Gabe a hard time. Betty Lou chats with Heaven, who hunches her shoulders and twists her neck, trying to remove real or imaginary kinks. Eric tells everyone his boots are genuine South American iguana. 3 women and an older man greet them at the largest nursing home in the county. Mrs. Barker, the activities director, says, "Mrs. Gilmore has spoken so highly of you. What's your program consist of?" Tris smiles. "We have singing, dancing, juggling, classical piano, voice impressions, comedy, puppets, and a sing-along that will bring a smile to one and all." "This I've got to see," says Mr. Wentworth, the administrator. In the auditorium, at least 20 attendants are assisting elderly men and women into the room, most in wheelchairs. Within a few minutes, the room is more than 3/4 full. Mrs. Barker introduces Tris as a curtain rises. "It's wonderful to be here, and you're in for a real treat, folks. We have singing, dancing, comedy, and gorgeous girls." The crowd cheers. Frog juggles, jokes, and does a magic trick while impersonating famous people. He introduces Gabe, who plays Fixin' a Hole from the Sgt. Pepper's album. The crowd applauds. Gabe introduces Heaven. She twirls her baton, accompanied by Tris on piano. She does a tap dance and a tumbling display, concluding in a double backflip to vigorous applause. Tris introduces Val. The little lady with a big voice sings Harper Valley PTA. The ovation is thunderous. Frog and Eric bring out the puppet stage. "Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special treat," Tris says. "Let's give a warm welcome to our queens of campus comedy. Miss Kathy Solomon and Miss Betty Lou Haynes present the Abbott and Costello Show." They work the puppets as they read their lines. "Oh, Costello, why are you so excited?" "Well, Abbott, I just got a call from Mrs. Barker's babysitter." "Oh, really, Costello? What did she want?" "She wanted to know where the fire extinguisher is." A few laughs. "So tell me, Costello, what's your favorite Bible story?" "Oh, Abbott, I love that story about the multitude." "The multitude?" "Oh, yes, Abbott. You know, the multitude that loaves and fishes." A few more laughs. "Is it true that your uncle just left that European monastery?" "Oh, yes, Abbott. He left after 15 years. "What happened?" "When he joined 15 years ago, they told him he could only speak 2 words every 5 years. "Only 2 words every 5 years, Costello?" "Exactly. Only 2 words every 5 years. "Well, what happened?" "Well, Abbott, after 5 years he went to see the chief monk, and all he said was, 'Hard bed.'" "All he said was 'hard bed,' and then he didn't talk again for 5 years?" "Exactly." "Well, what happened then?" "After 5 years, he went to see the chief monk again, and he said just 2 words." "What'd he say, Costello?" "Lousy food." "That's all he said? Lousy food? Then what happened? Nothing. He didn't say another word for 5 more years. And then? And then, after 5 more years, he talked. Well, what did he say, Costello? I quit. That's all he said? I quit? What happened then? What happened then? I'll tell you what happened then. The chief monk got mad. He did? What did he say? He said, I'm not surprised you're quitting. You've done nothing but complain for the last 15 years. Now the crowd is howling. Mrs. Barker announced a 10-minute intermission. Backstage, Tris tells Betty Lou and Kathy, you were fantastic. He shakes Gabe's hand and congratulates him on an excellent performance. He lifts Val up with a bear hug and spins her around. I'm so proud of you, he says. He hugs Heaven. Magnificent. Absolutely great. Frog opens his arms wide. Tris jumps into them. They tumble to the floor. Tris dusts himself off and says, I thought you said you could juggle. Frog says, juggle? I thought you said snuggle. Tris outlines the last half of the show. He demonstrates how to line up for the sing-along and the encore. He explains the exit plan. Frog walks on stage and introduces Eric, who plays a Rachmaninoff opus on the piano and gets a generous round of applause. Eric begins God Only Knows. Tris, Val, and Betty Lou share the second microphone. While the audience applauds, Gabe comes on stage with his guitar. Heaven carries 3 tambourines, Frog a pair of rhythm sticks, and Kathy a pair of maracas. Tris divides the audience into 3 groups to sing One Bottle of Pop. Nearly 200 voices strong. Mr. Wentworth claps his hands, his face aglow. This is incredible, he says. Just amazing. A cry for more goes out as they take their bows. Tris lifts his hand and Eric plays a well-crafted piano intro. The crowd quiets as Gabe sings in a sweet voice, Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. The rest begin to sing along, the instruments and rhythm precise. By the time they reach na 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 na, Hey Jude, nobody wants it to end. Tris introduces the members of the troupe again. They bow, wave, and blow kisses to the audience as the final curtain comes down. The crowd cheers for several minutes. Mr. Wentworth tells Tris, Mrs. Gilmore told us you had a great show, and we believed her, but we could not possibly have imagined. No, we've never seen anything like this, Mrs. Barker says. So much talent and such precision, Mr. Wentworth remarks, and such variety. It's obvious many hours of work went into this. You are all to be commended. Thank you, sir, Tris says. Mrs. Barker and I very much appreciate your coming here, and we hope you can come back and do this again, Mr. Wentworth says. We'd love to, Tris says. And we'd like you to have this, Mr. Wentworth says. Mrs. Barker hands Tris an envelope. We can't even begin to thank you enough for everything you've done. You were absolutely marvelous, and we're just so glad that you could share your wonderful talents with us. Mrs. Barker, Tris says, we're grateful to you for this opportunity, and he waves the envelope, for your kindness. He hugs her. He reaches out his hand to Mr. Wentworth, who opens his arms and hugs Tris, like a father hugging a son who just drove in the winning run. It's hugs everywhere. After lunch, Tris opens the envelope. It's a check for $250. Everyone is stunned. Tris asks, what do they want to do with the money? Eric says, we can use it as a down payment on a PA system. But I've got one we can use, Gabe says. We could use it to advertise, Frog says. And invest part of it in costumes and crafts, Betty Lou says. And we could have a party, Val says. Invite lots of people in television and radio. And we can also invite people who might want to perform with us in the future, Heaven says. What do you think, Kathy? Tris asks. Maybe we should stick it in the bank for now. Then if we need something later, we'll have money to pay for it. I think she makes excellent sense, people, Tris says. Me too, Eric says. So, what are we going to call ourselves? Ideas? Tris asks. How about the Paver Players? Heaven says. Tris shakes his head. How about Cross County Players? Betty Lou suggests. Feedback? Tris says. 2 square, Mom, Val says. What about Wellspring? I like that, Tris says. So do I, Gabe says. Me too, Eric says. It all started in the well, after all. It does have a certain air of dysfunction, Frog says. Personally, I prefer the more dignified Ferndock, Andersnatch, and Creel Union Firehouse Band, Purloo, and Marching Society. Well, we don't have to make up our mind this instant, Betty Lou says. Eric and Gabe sing California Dreaming with Val and Betty Lou on the ride back. Arriving at the well, Tris says, we've got 2 more invites for next Sunday, one at 1 and the other at 3:30. We could do both. Who wants to come? They all do. Thanks, everyone, for a fantastic job, Tris says. You made a lot of people happy today. This money goes in the bank tomorrow. Kathy lays her head on his shoulder as the truck empties. I love you, he says. Take me for a ride, Tristan. I'll take you anywhere you want to go, Catherine. The streets are still trashed in the aftermath of the football team's crushing defeat. We're moving Pete tomorrow. His lady friend tried to spring him, but my uncle got a search warrant, and now she's in jail. Where's he going? A place near Harrisburg. Will be closer, and when he gets out, he's moving in with Mom. At the indoor swimming pool, she asks about Frog's persona. His father was an attorney. Catfish O'Grady, they called him. He used humor to win his cases. Civil suits mostly. Very successful. Then he found out he had bone cancer and just turned 50. Well, he made up his mind he was going to keep laughing and keep his family laughing right to the end. He died summer of last year. Frog was with him about every day the last few weeks, and they laughed together the day he died, and Frog just never stopped. At an Italian restaurant, she tells him about Sundays, her favorite day growing up. We'd have a terrific breakfast together. Mom loves to cook. Then we'd go to church, and usually we'd bring another family home for lunch. After that, we'd go out, do something fun, like a movie, bowling, or go see the Pirates, or just play cards, or even a board game. Tris calls his mother. She thinks it's great he's spending Thanksgiving with the Solomons. If she wasn't my mom, he says, I'd want her for a friend. That's how I feel about my mom, she says. He sings for her as a crowd gathers on the wall, mostly 14, 15 years old. When someone starts passing a pipe around, he puts his guitar down. Don't stop now, man, a boy protests. It's early. Come on. Tris says firmly, If you want to hear more music, put the narcotics away. Oh, come on, we're just having a little fun. Tris looks right at the boy. What's your name? What are you, a narc? Tris closes his guitar case. You're afraid to tell me your name, aren't you? That's really sad, having to live in fear like that. The boy grabs the dope pipe, shakes the contents out. Are you happy now? Tris smiles. He starts playing again.
I know how you feel. Love makes a fool of us all. Stand in your heels, all dressed up for the ball. Patiently waiting for your prince to come. Something inside you says he's the one. So love like your heart isn't broken. Sing like you ain't out of tune. 'Cause I've been too long on the road, blowing kisses at the moon.
That's a great song, man, the boy says. I play guitar too, lead. For the migraines, maybe you can jam with us sometime. What do you play? Tris asks. Telly Esquire. That's a good axe. Real good. This is Kathy, and I'm Tris. Bill Dunkelberg. You can call me Dunk. Can I get you an ice cream cone? Tris asks. You don't have to do that. What flavor would you like? While Dunk waits for the lecture about drugs that never comes, Tris reminisces about musicians who jammed in his living room when he was little. Kathy thinks about all the schoolwork that's piled up and wonders why Leslie didn't show. Holding hands at Mickey's, the 24-hour diner, they're alone in a crowd. Standing outside her dorm before curfew, their eyes lock and the pull begins. Their very first kiss, tender, gentle, passionate, respectful, over so soon. She points to her lips and says very softly and slowly, again. He holds her like a jewel, melting, ready to erupt, and he kisses her again, short, hard, and dreamy. You are one fantastic woman, Kathy. Let me know when I can have my heart back, just for a little while. Not before you let me have mine back, she says. A final kiss goodnight. She's late. The guard understands. Can you feel the floor at all? He asks. No, sir. Not at all. Did you have a good night? Candy asked. Oh, yes. He is without a doubt the sweetest guy I've ever known. I just feel so relaxed, so comfortable with him, but he's exciting and he's funny. I learned so much about him today, Candy, and the more I get to know him, the more I love him, and he loves me too. That's the amazing thing. And he's coming home with me for Thanksgiving. Isn't that great? Isn't it, Candy? She was asleep. Kathy turned on her desk lamp and opened her dictionary. Wellspring. Number 1, an inexhaustible fountain. Number 2, a source of continual supply. Number 3, a source of inspiration. He is one fine kisser, she whispered. Chapter 11, The Blue Room. A beautiful thing like you will do very well here, Harry Heflin said. We cover your most essential parts. Butch and Herbie make sure no one lays a hand on you. No one exposes themselves. And we have a zero-tolerance policy against jacking. We're a respectable establishment, darling. We cater to the top professionals in the area. Lawyers, doctors, professors, businessmen. Our clientele appreciates real beauty. They just want to have a little fun. So we give it to them, plain and simple, and you get paid for it every night. Cash money. No slimy Fed's hand in your pocket or your purse. When can you start? Tomorrow night? Excellent. We'll have your outfit and everything. Peggy'll meet you here at 6:30. She'll teach you everything you need to know. At Allegheny Hall, Candy was bummed. I didn't want to hurt his feelings, 'cause Frog's a terrific guy, and I really enjoy his company. But there's just no chemistry, and if I have to let him down, shouldn't I do it before he gets attached? But what's the harm in meeting his family for Thanksgiving? Kathy asked. It's not like you're announcing your engagement. You don't understand a thing I'm saying, Kath. It's like Betty Lou. She thinks I'm this sweet, upright, young Christian woman. Me, the person who ruined her marriage. Now hold on, Candy. You gotta quit blaming yourself for all the world's troubles. Betty Lou is no Donna Reed. She was getting hers while you were getting yours. And, you know, Roch was going out on her long before he met you. But I'm pregnant, and I don't want to be. What am I going to do? That evening, Gabe was playing for a small crowd in the music room. Candy persuaded Kathy to buy a pizza from the snack bar while she focused her attention on the singer and complimented his song. Just one of my souvenirs, Candy. We had something real, all right. But she ditched me for a jock with a big NFL contract. I hoped to the end she'd realize she was making a mistake, that she'd show up on my doorstep the day of the wedding. I couldn't go through with it, Gabe. I just couldn't stand the thought of never seeing you again. You poor boy, Candy said, walking the tightrope between sympathy and mischief. Oh, I'll be okay, he said, as long as I have my friends and my music. He walked them to the dorm. I am so darn attracted to him, Candy said. But he obviously has the hots for you. He's a Romeo, Kathy said. He only wants what he can't have. Well, he sure is cute. Ginny called from California. She said Dennis was still his ornery self, and he wanted to move back to the Pittsburgh area after he got fitted for his new leg. She said her father was trying to persuade him to stay in L.A. There's something very nasty going on between them, Ginny said. I don't know what it is. Lynn grabbed Kathy's arm and interrupted the conversation. Hey, Kath, Leslie's in the hospital and her brother's dead. The next morning, Frog drove the girls to the Norristown Hospital in his green Dodge. Leslie's face was swollen. She was woozy. A gray-haired woman with a sad face sat beside her bed. Look, honey, you have visitors. Leslie turned her head. Her face lit up. Wow, she said. I can't believe you're all here. We'd have got here a lot sooner, Lynn said, but we just found out. I'm Sylvia Goldstein, Leslie's mother, the woman said. She stood and extended her hand. A nurse came in with a tray. She cranked the bed into a sitting position. I'll bet you get better food than we do, Candy said. I can't hardly chew anything, Leslie said. But that's all right. I need to lose weight anyway. She had a patch over her right eye. Her right arm was wrapped around her body. She talked excitedly between tiny nibbles as her mother spoon-fed her applesauce. She wanted to know all about the show at the nursing home. Frog told her about Gabe, Eric, and Betty Lou. Kathy told her about the puppet show, the check, and about the new name. Her mother thought it was wonderful that young people cared so much. Leslie reprised their skit. Kathy couldn't remember her lines, but Leslie knew both characters. She's driving everybody crazy with her Abbott and Costello shenanigans, her mom said. Leslie said she was finishing her semester at home, but planned to be back at Lyons in January. The nurse gave her pills, checked vitals, and took her to the bathroom a few inches at a time. Her visitor stayed another hour. Lynn told a few Helen Keller jokes. Frog channeled Mr. Ed and Wilbur until Leslie fell asleep. Lynn lit a cigarette as they walked to the car. Man, it's depressing in there. The girls were barely awake when Frog was pulled over for speeding. Wednesday night, Kathy and Lynn go to see Tris perform at the Rosedale Inn. Betty Lou and Val are there. Gabe, Larry, and Jane drop in a few minutes later. Kathy talks to Val in the ladies' room. Your mom's really nice, Val. Meaning I'm not? She snapped. You know that isn't what I meant. You just want to know if I'm going to tell her about Candy and Dad, right? Why do you say that? 'Cause that's all you think about when you're around me. That, and how you wish everyone else would split, so you can latch on to Tristan and get all cozy and smooch. You're pretty sharp, Val. Well, yeah, I know that. So, are you, am I gonna tell her? I don't know. She thinks Candy's the sweetest young woman I've ever met. How sickening is that? Candy's been driving herself crazy, worrying about it, Kathy says. Good, 'cause nobody forced her to make it with my old man. Not that she was the first or the last. Course, Mom's not exactly an angel either, as I'm sure you know. Lynn walks in. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, Val says. What's your problem? I don't have a problem. Yeah, you do, Val says firmly. If you'll excuse me, Lynn snips, I've got to take a leak. Back in the restaurant, Tris plays his music. A fair collection of 1s, 5s, and 10s wind up in his goblet. Val pesters Gabe, who fixates on Tris's fingers. Larry and Jane exchange whispers between bursts of laughter. Lynn sulks. Betty Lou has a migraine. When Tris finishes to loud applause, he recommends Gabe to the manager. Gabe invites Tris to come to his apartment and jam. Kathy nods. They ride up in his truck and share a kiss on the elevator. Gabe, Larry, Jane, and Lynn are sitting on the leather couch smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. Gabe takes his Gibson Hummingbird out of its case. Tris grabs his Martin D28. They swap guitars. What do you want to play? Gabe asks. You pick a song. I'll follow. Gabe launches into Help by the Beatles. Their voices blend seamlessly. They play All My Loving and Do You Want to Know a Secret? Larry ignites a huge water pipe and takes a big toke. Jane and Lynn follow suit. Care to indulge? Gabe asks Tris. Oh, I appreciate the offer, Gabe, but I have to boogie. Thank you all for coming out to see me. Can I get a ride with you? Kathy asks. You sure can, he says. Thanks for coming, man, Gabe says. Let's do this again. Oh, definitely, Tris says. As they step on the elevator, Kathy asks Tris if he left because of the dope smoking. Was I that obvious? To me, yes. I don't know if anyone else picked up on it. I just thought it was time to leave. It seems like most of my friends are into that now, she says. Drugs are seductive, he says, but I've seen what they can do. They sit in his truck and talk till midnight. I missed you, Kathy. Walk me to the door? How about if I carry you? You're so romantic, you beast. He carries her 50 yards, like a groom carrying his bride. Another kiss. I love you, Tristan. I adore you, Catherine. At the Blue Room, the buxom, dark-skinned Oriental woman showed the curvy cowgirl how to snort the white powder through a rolled $20 bill. Don't be nervous, girl. You're a natural. Just let it flow, okay? How you feel, honey? Tingly, like I can't sit still. Good, 'cause you're next. Just let it happen, babe. They're gonna love you. I guarantee it. You can do no wrong. The jukebox played These Boots Are Made for Walking, as every eye in the room focused on Heaven Lee. Harry nodded his head. Will you look at that body? Ooh, yeah, Peggy girl, we got ourselves a live one here.